We gotta get country, okay? We're bringing in our own. I have to do it. I'm sorry. Cassie DeLaura, country fan, stand for life. Cassie, we had to go to you to talk best country album. I'm going to walk us through the nominees if we can bring them up on screen, and then we need your thoughts. We have Unapologetically from the fabulous Miss Kelsea Ballerini. Port St. Joe from... Oh, there's Kacey Musgraves. We don't have the graphic, but Golden Hour by Kacey Musgraves, Unapologetically, Kelsea Ballerini, Port St. Joe by the Brothers Osborne, Girl Going Nowhere, Ashley McBryde, and From a Room, Volume 2, Chris Stapleton. Your initial thoughts looking at these 5 nominees for Best Country Album?
I am so excited for Miss Kacey Musgraves. You know, I'm like one of her biggest fans. We just talked to her at the CMAs on the red carpet. She's so great and so deserving of this award. So she actually took home the award for Album of the Year at the CMAs. And this is a big nomination for her for the Grammys. But not only is she nominated for Best Country Album, you guys, she's also nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys, too. I mean, this is huge for her, especially for a woman in country music who has had pretty much little to no radio play. So, I mean, this is just a huge win for Kacey as an artist, as a songwriter, and for women in the country music industry. It really is just unbelievable.
Were you surprised that she cracked into the main Album of the Year category? And does that give her an edge here in the country album category?
To be honest with you, I was not surprised that she won or that she was nominated in the general field either, because they do kind of save 1 or 2 slots for country. I thought, though, I was a little nervous that Chris Stapleton, it would be in between Chris or Kacey, but I'm glad Kacey nabbed that nomination there.
So will this help her, you think, bag at least the Grammy for Best Country Album because she did crack into the general field?
I am going to be bold here, and I'm going to say I hope that she takes home both of the nominations in the general field.
Well, of course you do, Cassie.
But I will say Chris Stapleton has won the last 2 years in Best Country Album, and whenever you are in a category with him, it is quite intimidating. So I will say if Kacey doesn't take it home, I think it will go to Chris. But it's still a huge accomplishment for her to be nominated on its own.
On that point, though, talk about Kelsea Ballerini. What does this Grammy nomination mean for her? I mean, she's obviously an emerging young country artist. This is not her first album, but one of her first Grammy nominations, though, right?
Yeah, well, she was nominated, I believe it was 2 years ago for Best New Artist. I want to say, I don't know the year exactly, but so this is huge for her, though, because this is her sophomore album, but it's a different sound for her. She's obviously sticking with country pop, but this album really shows her maturity as a songwriter and as an artist. She has these themes of loss and life and love, and she goes in chronological order through this album unapologetically. So she kind of starts with like a journey of a breakup, and then she goes into finding love, and how apropos she just celebrated her 1-year wedding anniversary earlier this week with her husband Morgan Evans. Now she's got this huge Grammy nomination for Best Country Album. I mean, just ginormous for Kelsea Ballerini.
Well, and Cassie, I love seeing this because I know when you were just in Nashville and interviewing everybody in the country world, a big part of the discussion was women in country and getting them the recognition that they deserve, the radio play that they deserve. Right. And in this category, 3 female artists and 2 male artists. So it's good to see, a mix and kind of women taking the edge here in the Best Country Album category.
Especially, like I mentioned, for someone like Kacey, whose success with Golden Hour has really been because of the incredible writing of the album that really just captivated the fans. Because like I said, radio didn't give her that much love for Golden Hour. It was more of just, she made her rounds on all the network shows, the late night shows, performing. And people started really being like, what is this country album that's got disco vibes? And her writing is just so raw and authentic. She's been very open about how 2 of the songs on Golden Hour she actually wrote while she was on a little acid trip on her front porch in Nashville.
Casual.
I mean, she's so real
relatable.
and honest. And it's so relatable.
Who hasn't tripped on acid on their front porch? I mean, I will say, I don't know if that's relatable for me, but I maybe relatable in the music industry. That's
maybe
like a genre.
Maybe I'd be a better singer if so.
If I was on acid, the shenanigans at ET Live.
I just love that she's so open about it. But
very open.
I do want to talk about Ashley McBryde next because a lot of people are probably like, who is she? You know, if you know country music, you know that she's been around for over a decade. But, you know, it wasn't until this most recent album, Girl Going Nowhere, it had a debut single that's a little dive bar in Dahlonega that really people started noticing who Ashley was and her, you know, her skills when it comes to writing too. Think of Ashley as kind of similar to Miranda Lambert. You know, you've got the vocals and you've got the guitar, and that's kind of Ashley's thing. And she writes about love and heartbreak and real life issues, and that's what I think the fans love from her. So this is also a huge, you know, huge representation of women in country music. This is amazing for Ashley McBryde too. And you know, I love that her album is Girl Going Nowhere. Well, girl, you are going to the Grammys.
You're going to the Grammys. Hey, Cass, you just mentioned Miranda Lambert. Now, we should remind folks that she just released an album with her group Pistol Annies, but they were ineligible, right?
Right, yeah, that was most recent. I do believe their album came out, I want to say November 2nd.
Right.
And
And their first one in a while.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Reuniting that girl power album. So, you know, let them have 2019 Grammys off because they're going to come in to sweep in the following Grammys.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year.
It is interesting to see. I mean, we have kind of like you were saying, Cassie, these artists who have been working, these women like Casey and Kelsey and Ashley, but we don't have in this category like a Carrie Underwood and Miranda Lambert, those women who always win. Why do you think that is?
Well, Carrie's album, I want to double check the date. I don't have it with me, but I don't think it was eligible either.
Okay.
But I could be wrong on that. I didn't get a chance to double check the date of the release, but that is a surprise. I was surprised not to see Carrie's name, so I think that's purely because of eligibility, because I don't think, you know, the Grammys love Carrie.
Was there anyone you were surprised that didn't make the cut this year for Best Country Album?
Dierks Bentley, his album Burning Man, and I double-checked eligibility this morning too. What date was it released? And sure enough, it was released in the summer. So
you know what?
I was very surprised with that one.
I'm looking on Cry Pretty right now because now I want to know. Cass, if you had to pick a winner out of here, what do you think?
And she's been saying that always.
Right,
exactly. I hope for Casey. Listen, I love Kelsey Ballerini too. I've been interviewing her for years, especially when she first got her start in the industry, and I'm so proud to see how far she's come. But I really hope this one goes to Casey Musgraves.
All right, Cry Pretty came out September 14th.
Wow, so just before so it's within the eligibility period.
So it is within, so
she wasn't nominated,
Oh. That's
you know, it's interesting, but listen, we have these, I don't say Carrie's not fresh, but we have a new batch of
I'm happy
women.
for it. I'm just surprised, like we said, because Carrie's that person who has so many awards
that was a
under
what
her
moment
belt.
for the Grammys, right?
Yeah, and you're like what?
Like
Do it again.
Predicted.
What?
Because Carrie also is someone who I think she'd been through that injury and she had opened up about her miscarriages, and so we talked a little bit about like Ariana Grande and the Grammy noms and how people will just be in support of that person right now. So the personal and the music aspect of it makes me a little surprised she's not in here.
Yeah.
Same. I know. We'll have to break that down later in the 12 p.m. Pacific
Look at that
hours.
tease. Cassie's like, she's going to do, she came in early,
all
but
the country goods.
she's going to look everything up.
Yep.